Hey guys, welcome back to another update brought to you by Declan Storms 2. This is going to be a quick and short update on the two disturbances out in the Atlantic right now. One's a 40% chance in the next 7 days, and one's a 20 or 10% chance in the next 7 days as well. If those two form, we could have Francina Gordon, which would make us get up to 8 named storms, which the Pacific has had 8 named storms. But don't forget, the Atlantic's had more ace. So Bell, Ernesto, and Debbie. Show you the other ones real quick. Right. Here are the disturbances right now. I'll draw around them. That's disturbance 2. That's disturbance 1. Could form or not. As you can see, they look good right now. And this one is a 20% chance of formation. Another tropical wave between the western coast of Africa and the Cape Verde Islands is producing minimal showers and thunderstorms. Activity. Some slow development of this system is possible through late next week while it moves slowly to the west-northwest over the eastern central tropical Atlantic. And they're giving that a 20% chance of formation in the next 7 days, which is low. Might not form, might form, we don't know, it could form. So, right, show the Eastern Pacific, because we have no areas of interest in the East Pac whatsoever, or we have none in the Central Pacific, but we did have Hurricane Hone out there last week, and Hone is now north of Hawaii, but it was actually a tropical storm for quite a long time. It did get to hurricane status near Hawaii, so I'll show you real quick. It was about here when he got to hurricane status. It's about there when he got to hurricane status, and now it's over here as a tropical depression. So they do expect it to go into the international dateline and move into the Western Pacific. Now, if that does happen, if it becomes a typhoon, which I highly doubt it will become a typhoon, but you never know what the West Pac does this time of year. The West Pac can produce some very powerful super typhoons. You saw it 2 years ago. You saw it last year. You saw it 3 years ago. So, yeah, very powerful indeed. But, this is not going to become that strong. This is the cone of uncertainty right now. They do expect it to get back to tropical storm status, but they kind of do expect it to go into the international dateline. So they kind of do expect it to go into the West Pac. Now, whether it becomes a tropical depression in the Western Pacific or a tropical storm in the East Pac, again, we don't know, we're not sure. But it could be a tropical storm again by Saturday. So it is doable, and by Tuesday it's meant to be, should be in the Western Pacific by Tuesday. So that's Hone for you. We're going to talk a bit more about those two other disturbances right now that could develop into a significant storm. And it could be cool. Right, this is what the Atlantic is going to look like. they might have backed off from the system a little bit, you know. Let's have a look. You can see the system over here. If I just get my marker pen ready. There. That's the system. Watch. You can see it moves towards the Gulf, moves towards the Caribbean. Now, the GFS has it developing late than what it did yesterday. As you can see, they are developing it super late. And then you can see over here, which I believe is where that system tries to come off. Yeah, see that system near the Cape Verde Islands? There? That could become Gordon. Now, if that one forms before this system over here, this system could become Francis, and this system will likely move out towards the open ocean due to the high pressure system being over here. But this system is meant to move over here now. Whether it forms, becomes tropical depression, and rapidly intensifies, don't know, I'm not sure. But I think in this area, in this vicinity, at this time of year, anywhere along that kind of that coast from Texas to Louisiana, Florida, Virginia, New England, and all that, you guys could be expected to category 1 or 4 landfalls. As you can see, Francis kind of weakens, not really that good, but you can see now Gordon here in the Atlantic. Look, 970 millibars. Don't forget though, this is by September 9th. So whether it forms by September 9th, I'm not sure. But then you have this area of interest here, which I believe this one got named first. So this one could become Tropical Storm Francis, which was the name to replace Florence. Because, you know, remember back in 2018 you had Hurricane Florence that hit, I think it was South Carolina or North Carolina. That hit up here. It hit up here as a Category 2 because it was storming off the coast when it was a Cat 4. It was a Category 2 when it hit the coast. Still caused some significant damages. But anyway, let's have a look again. So you can see moving over the Yucatan, which is a different track to what the GFS was taking it. The GFS last night was taking it to more like that out at sea. So through the Lesser Antilles, through the Eastern Caribbean, maybe making landfall on Jamaica or grazing the Jamaican coast like Bell did this year, and then hitting somewhere in Florida. Now that's not really happening. The GFS is moving more east, moving a lot more westward. Now we thought this trend would come, and now it's just blown up into a major hurricane, 967 millibars in the Gulf of Mexico. So you have to keep an eye out on this system, because this system could explosively intensify. And I'm not trying to be a scaremonger here, but you know, get from 967 millibars to 952 millibars. That's a 30-mile-an-hour drop, and it makes sense for it's 949 millibars on the basically where Laura made landfall in 2020. So about there. That's exactly where Laura made landfall in 2020. If you don't remember that storm, you're crazy. I remember covering it, tracking it This is before I had my YouTube channel, by the way. And then obviously moves inland over Louisiana, stalls a little bit, and then after that, the Atlantic is quiet again, which is a good sign. But we could see another couple more areas being tagged that the NHC is currently watching. Well, I'll show you the satellite imagery real quick. We don't need to show you tropical depression Hone. Well, I'll show you. You know, tropical depression Hone is not really looking that good right now. She fill my mind with ideas. This is where the two areas of interest is right now. You can see there's a mess in the Northern Atlantic here. That's where one of these two systems could pop out. Now this is the first one there. This at the back over here is the second one. See where I'm marked? Now I'll get rid of that box for you. This is the first area, that's the second area. So, don't know for sure, but definitely the area that I've marked before is looking good. And there is an area of cloudiness off the Floridan coastline. So, could that get tagged? Don't know, but the GFS was indicating some subtropical storm development. So that could get tagged, might not get tagged, don't know yet. But we also had Typhoon Shanshan that did hit the coast of Japan yesterday. Yeah, hit the coast of Japan yesterday. If I can still get it up, if it's still alive. Show you the Joint Typhoon Warning Center real quick. So they are hinting of it reforming, I think. I'm not sure. But yeah, and we also have Tropical Cyclone 2A in the Bay of Bengal, in the Arabian Sea. Could, I mean, mostly forecasted to stay very weak, about 40-45 miles an hour. So, nothing really new there. I mean, did form though, which is unusual for this time of year, but you can still get storms this time of year. But it's not really going to get strong. And Tropical Storm Shanshan over Japan. Now, we're not really going to get into this storm because Shanshan isn't really a threat. Well, it is a threat, but not anymore. But 2A is a threat, so I'll have a video out on 2A for you later on, or maybe tomorrow if it's still alive. And those two invests in the Atlantic, well, you know, what can I tell you? Well, what have we learned? Well, the dry air has gone, which is a good sign for the tropical Atlantic. But the problem is that the season has had a lackluster start. It had a late start, and now the Atlantic has to play catch up to the east back. Even though it's two storms behind, the Atlantic could get another major hurricane somewhere over here. So stay out, stay alert for September, because this hurricane season isn't finished yet. Everyone kept saying, "Oh, this hurricane season's finished. It's not going to produce 20 named storms, 30 named storms, or whatever." You can still get high down that scale. I think we could have finished the season with the S named storm. Yes, it's going to be a backloaded season, which means that most of the system is going to form from now to November 30th. So stay tuned. So yeah, I'm going to wrap the video up now, guys. And stay tuned for the next video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and see you all in the next video.